What is up guys, welcome back to my new video. In today's video I'm going to do the full review of the Poco X3 Pro. Now I have been using this smartphone since around 2 months now, and this is going to be a long-term review, and yes, it is a fully honest review. So let's get started. First of all, let's talk about its display. Now the display looks very nice in paper. It has a 120Hz IPS LCD display which is 6.7 inches, so it is pretty big enough for day-to-day usage, and also it supports wide-while L1. It means you can watch 1080p videos in Netflix and also Amazon Prime. But there are a few complaints which I had in this display which are really annoying. Number one, this display should be an AMOLED. Like, it is not an AMOLED display, and obviously it it just feels not that colorful, so that's one thing. Now I have used a lot of AMOLED displays in the past. I'm coming from my M21 which already had an AMOLED display which is Super AMOLED, and coming from that phone to this phone, the display felt twice as smooth as that phone, because that phone that has only 60Hz M21, while this Poco X3 Pro has a 120Hz display. But overall the display is not that punchy and the colors are not that saturated. Obviously you can tweak it according to your liking, but still the display should be a little better. That's what I think. Now let's talk about its cameras. Now that's an area where I'm really surprised. Like, Poco phones are actually just based on their performance. They just really focus on how good or how fast the smartphone can overall work. But here the cameras are also not disappointing. Now there's just one complaint I had, that is they should have provided a 64 megapixel sensor, but they haven't. This is just a 48 megapixel sensor. And you know what annoyed me the most? That is the 64 megapixel sensor is present in the Poco X3, while the X3 Pro has only 48 megapixel. That is really annoying. Like, why, man? The Pro should have a better sensor, right? But overall the performance of the cameras are really good. The colors are nice, the photos are nice, but you know, this review is based on not the stock camera, it's based on the G cam. After trying Google camera, your photos will be day and night difference, and here are some samples I have taken from the Google camera of the Poco X3 Pro. You can see the colors are very nice. The G cam also works very smoothly. At times I feel like the processing time is a little high, but still you can't compare, because the level of quality, the sharpness, the detail, the colors which you get in G cam photos are way better. Now let's talk about its video capabilities. Now Poco X3 Pro supports 4K at 30 fps. It doesn't support 4K at 60 fps, but I have got a video, this video here you can see. In this video I told you how to enable 4K at 60 fps in your Poco X3 Pro without root, without TWRP, without custom ROM, without anything. Just stock Poco X3 Pro can also record videos in 4K at 60 fps. That's really dope. Now let's talk about its macro camera. Now macro camera in this stock MIUI camera app is really trash. Like, you can't take any image which will look proper. But while trying Gcam, macro images have also improved a lot. Now here are some samples of macro images which I have taken, and I think they're pretty nice. The colors are really awesome. Like, considering it's a macro camera, you can't complain anything else. And one more thing, even though that's only a 5 megapixel, look at the detailing. It is really awesome, isn't it? Now let's talk about its ultra-wide. Ultra-wide cameras are also really awesome in this smartphone, and yeah, here are the results. They speak for themselves. Now you have seen those. Now let's come towards its performance. Now all of you have actually bought the Poco X3 Pro, most of you just for the performance, I know, and that's my reason as well. And to be honest, I'm never disappointed in the performance. No matter how bad MIUI is, no matter how much it lags, how much it heats up, the performance is consistent. It stays on without any problem. Like, even though MIUI has stutters, that is the software problem, but in terms of the graphic card, the CPU performance, CPU type things, there's no problem at all. So that's really awesome. Like, that's just the amazing thing, you know. Like, you will never be disappointed with the performance. And I have played a lot of games in this smartphone as well. I have tried Asphalt 9, Injustice, and also I have tried PUBG or BGMI. And to be honest, I have just posted a video of BGMI. Here's the video. If you are new, just watch this and you will get to know of how good BGMI runs in this Poco X3 Pro. So that's enough about performance. The simple thing is, you will never be disappointed. It's a lot faster than all of the mid-range smartphones having MediaTek Dimensity 800, 810. But there's a big but. That is, it doesn't have 5G. That's really sad. Like, yeah, if you are planning to use this phone for straight 5 years like me, then 5G is very important. Like in the future 5G will become more and more common, and that's one thing which you might need to worry. But to be honest, right now I don't think in India 5G is going to come within 2 years, and yeah, most people use their smartphone just for 2 years. And if you are planning to use it more than 2 years, 4G speeds will also be pretty awesome. Like I have never faced any connectivity issues in the Poco X3 Pro, which is dope. Now let's talk about the software. Now that's an area where I'm really disappointed. Like I'm just telling you my honest opinion, my honest review, and I'm really disappointed. MIUI really bad. If you scroll Google feed, it will lag a lot, and you know what, sometimes it crashes, there are random bugs and glitches. And yes, don't get me wrong, MIUI is improving day by day, but that day by day improvement is still a long way ahead. Like stock Android is a long way ahead of MIUI. The improvements are really awesome, but it takes so much time and it is very painful to use. Now because of that, I switched to the custom ROMs. Now I have switched to the Pixel Experience Plus right now, and man, that is the perfect custom ROM for the Poco X3 Pro. I am getting regular software updates, regular security updates. On top of that, I'm getting consistent performance, the smartphone doesn't heat up a lot, and overall the smoothness of the UI is amazing. It's on par of the latest flagships, so that's one thing. So yeah, in terms of performance or smoothness of the software, Pixel Experience is a very good custom ROM. In case you don't want to switch to any of the custom ROMs because you are worried about your warranty, that your warranty will be ended. Now what you have to do in that case? In that case, there are many videos on how to optimize MIUI. You can watch those, but yeah, know one thing. Even if you optimize MIUI to your full extent, like the capability you have, still it is going to be very laggy and very buggy. That's one thing. Now we all are waiting for the MIUI 13. Let's see, maybe it can bring about a big change. Maybe, fingers crossed. In terms of battery, you will never be disappointed. It is a 5000 mAh battery, gets me easily through a day or more of use without any problem. And yeah, 33 watt fast charging is there, it's there to stay. And it's not like Apple, they don't provide charger in the box, they do. So Poco X3 Pro overall is a perfect value for me in smartphone. Nowadays it is for 17,000 rupees, which is really awesome. Like the price is also very nice, if it is very attractive. So if you are looking for an overall smartphone which has a good display, good, okay, I'm not saying the best because there are options which have Super AMOLED plus 90 Hz or even 120. That's one thing. But if you want a good display, you are okay-ish with some normal muted colors. If you want an amazing performance, no compromise in performance at all. If you want, you know, an incredible software experience, but there's a but, that is even if only you use custom ROMs. If you use the official ROM, software experience is going to be a mixed batch. That's one thing. And overall, that's pretty much it. That wraps up my review of the Poco X3 Pro long-term review. What do you think about this review? Tell me in the comments below. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.